Okay, hold on. Okay, we should be good. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlitos Santiago, and today, on a special edition of Monday Night Raw, we were in Germany for what is supposed to be a great Monday Night Raw, or a special start time of 2 p.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, I was at work, so I didn't get to catch it, but let's get to what we came for. Raw opened with a recap of last week's show, the primary focus being on Punk and Breaker's match. After obligatory shots of people arriving to the arena, Ripley and Sky made their way to the ring. The Eradicator said it was a long road to the titles, but they finally beat the Kabuki Warriors and claimed gold. Sky said Asuka and Kairi Sane have no respect, and she and Ripley respect each other, and that is why they won. Ripley said they were going to issue a challenge to any tag team, but before she could finish her sentence, Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez came out to stake their claim for the titles. Not long after did Bayley and Lyra Valkyria join the party. So this was a pretty standard, the new champions have multiple people wanting the title shot segment. We've seen this kind of stuff countless of times before, so there's no easy way, or this is an easy way to create multiple paths for the story to go. Honestly, grading a C. Seeing the recap of last week's show was a reminder that WWE didn't do enough for the Stranger Things crossover. There wasn't even, anybody from the show there. What? I don't know. Some of the actors didn't even show up to Raw. It's if you'd done that, what the fuck? Anyway, graded a C, and it's always good to make your champions look strong, but when you're trying to build a new feud, you need the challengers to look like they have the champion's number in one way or another. This failed to do that. So that's why it's kind of, One of the recent NXT call-ups was in action this week as Javon Evans making his way to Raw. Honestly, kind of a new version of Kofi Kingston if you don't, old version of Kofi Kingston, but a little bit better. Took on Bravo, a part of the Americanos. So Evans took control early, using his agility to keep Bravo off balance. He had a series of high-flying moves that had the crowd cheering for him. Rayo distracted the referee so Grande could hit a kick that allowed Bravo to take advantage. He hit a quick slam for a 2 count before trying to ground Evans in a headlock. The Young OG turned things around with a dive over the top rope, followed by a running knee strike. A few moments later, the Young OG hit the OG cutter for the victory. This was a short match, but they made it entertaining with a handful of impressive spots. Evans looked great, but he was forced to retreat when all 3 masked men started to attack him. If this match could have had more time, Bravo was allowed to wrestle on his own style, it could have been the best thing on the show, but it wasn't. In case you also didn't know, Bravo is Tyler Bate and Rayo is Pete Dunne. Just so you guys are aware. It is a little sad that Ludwig Kaiser wasn't able to perform as himself in his home country. This also sucked. The champion speaks. So CM Punk came out for a promo. Adam Pearce was shown giving Paul Heyman a warning about Breaker for if and when he arrives to the arena. After the break, the world champion came to address the crowd. Following a successful title defense against Breaker, what follows next for Punk? Well, Punk talked about being on the road to WrestleMania and how anything can happen. He mentioned Cody Rhodes losing the WWE title as an example, but he said he plans to be champion forever, and he's moving past the vision. It looked like he was going to make this a short promo, but Finn Balor came out to interrupt before Punk could leave. He said he isn't waiting for the Rumble or the Chamber to get his title shot. Punk said he's been waiting for Finn to take his shot, but has been too busy playing video games and shining Liv Morgan's shoes. He said he wanted to put the title on the line against Balor tonight, which got a loud pop. Balor said he wanted to wait until next week when they're in his home country. So Finn, they will be in Ireland. They're on this holiday tour shit. So that's why they're in different places. They're in Germany, Berlin. They're going to be heading to different places. So just kind of keep that aware. So Punk agreed, saying he'll still be champion after next week, which I think will happen too. This was a pretty straightforward segment, and it worked to its benefit. So great to be. We move on. We get a triple threat tag team match that only gets us to who becomes the number one contenders. And honestly, I don't really got to talk about it because they talked about the Kabuki Warriors, they talked about Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and they talked about Roxanne and Liv. So this just follows to the opening segment, which there was no ending to it. So the only ending is now that we knew that Perez and Morgan were going to win because they haven't done anything. What have they really done? I mean, they're trying to get the Judgment Day back on top, and this is one way to do it. So, yeah. Raquel Rodriguez is not playing around anymore. Cole conducted an interview with Raquel Rodriguez on the stage. He said he was surprised to see her stoop so low to attack an injured champion last week. Rodriguez said she is tired of waiting around and getting screwed out of title shots. So Stephanie Vakir showed up, and security made Rodriguez leave, but she returned a few months later and attacked the champion again. She slammed her injured leg into the concrete floor before leaving. A short segment that repeated the same story beats as this previous encounter. So we're going to keep doing this, and this is why it gets what it gets. It is a C because it is fucking repetitive. And you know how I feel about repetitiveness on our show. It doesn't fucking... you keep on doing this, I'm going to get less interested, and the grade's going to show for it. So, until we get we're probably going to get championship match of the Royal Rumble, hopefully. If not, then Vakir is going to probably lose the title to Rodriguez, which will probably set up a Liv Morgan feud with Raquel because of jealousy, or I don't know, some fucking... Maybe Raquel could be the world champion. Who knows? We will either see Rodriguez end the story as the champion, or it will lead to Vakir looking like a fighting champion who can retain even when the odds are stacked against her. Yeah, it might be Rodriguez ending the story as a champion, because it's too much. It's just too much. Well, when you thought you were going to get something, and good, and it wasn't. Dragon Lee and Penta teamed up to take on the Vision's Bronson Reed and Austin Theory in the next matchup, with Logan Paul and Heyman in the team's corner. The Smooth Operator and, of course, Theory started for their teams with a quick lockup. Penta taunted the Young Star by strutting across his back at one point, and he followed up with a facebuster. Theory responded with a kick to the face before tagging in Reed. Lee came in, and the Luchadors used their speed to take control of the Auxilla. With some double team offense, and by the time the show cut to a break, Theory and Reed were back in control. Penta and Lee are both gifted performers, and Bronson Reed is probably one of the biggest men in the WWE who is really, really fucking good. Theory is still a young star who's trying to reach his potential. So there was more than enough talent in the ring to make this a good match. It followed a predictable pattern, but the way it ended was surprising. See, Lee was celebrating at ringside after a successful move. Breaker then appeared out of nowhere and speared the fuck out of him, causing a DQ. So Breaker and the Vision continued their assault despite Pierce trying to stop them. He got in Breaker's face. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully you guys didn't hear any of that, but he got in Breaker's face, and it took everyone in the Vision to hold him back from beating up the GM. Paul Heyman tried to talk everyone down, but Pierce told them all to get out of the building. When we returned from the show, Pierce suspended Breaker indefinitely, and this is a great little thing we're getting. So Breaker's gonna get Breaker's gonna get this like big time like spot. He's gonna get something. I guarantee he's gonna get something out of it. Otis and Akira Tozawa approached Jay backstage about a title match. Jay agreed, but warned them about facing the best tag team in the game. So that looks pretty fucking good. I like that. But we came to our main event. Guys, we've been waiting for this for a while. It's a dream match come true. It is AJ Styles. It is Gunther. And it is brought to you by... I don't know. Jaeger. We'll say Jaeger, because that's a German drink. This match is brought to you by Jaeger. So, this week's main event saw Styles take on Gunther. Styles took the way Gunther bragged about retiring Cena's personally, which led to this match. So the crowd was seeing as the match began. Styles put Gunther in the corner, delivered a stiff kick that sent the ring general to the floor to recover. The German fans were loud, but it wasn't always easy to tell what they were chanting. Gunther tried to out-wrestle Styles, but another kick to the thigh and a drop kick sent him out of the ring, which led to the Phenomenal One hitting a slingshot forearm over the top rope. Pretty cool. It seemed like Styles had his number until one huge chop sent him crashing from the apron to the floor as the show went to a break. Styles tried to work over his leg and make him tap out with a calf crusher when the show was back, but Gunther was able to wiggle his way out of it or get to the bottom rope and force a break. Unsurprisingly, these were two veterans who put on a great show. They made sure to sell all the spots while also keeping a brisk pace. They made both men look tough, like tough competitors, because they are. This is a combination that could have been a great world title feud during Gunther's reign, but they only ever fought on the house shows. Gunther broke out of the calf crusher. I keep saying crusher. What? It's a calf crusher. Anyway. He broke out of it again by slamming Styles' head into the mat several times. As the Phenomenal One locked it in again, Styles thought Gunther tapped and released the hold, but the referee didn't see it. I don't know if Gunther tapped. We might have to get some camera angles on that. But Gunther hit a low blow while the referee's back was turned, which led to him hitting a powerbomb for the win. The way this ended was a little confusing since the camera didn't show Gunther tap, but we got a better angle of it after the bout was over. Oh, so did he tap? Maybe he did. This was fucking good. This was probably good. So, graded an A-, and Gunther gets to walk out victorious, putting Styles away for his retirement tour. Because Styles is on a retirement tour, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you knew that. But what was the overall grade? Well, Monday Night Raw from Germany was pretty down the middle, but it had a couple of highlights worth noting. The women's triple threat tag team match was a lot of fun, and Evans had an entertaining encounter with Bravo early in the show. However, the main event was the best thing on the show. Even with a wonky ending, Styles and Gunther put on a great performance that proved WWE should have paired them up way sooner. With Saturday Night Main Event and the Royal Rumble right around the corner, WWE is about to enter its busy season. Let's hope there are some surprises in store along the road to WrestleMania. Graded a B, and I'm going to give this show, I'm just going to keep it as a B. I think it deserves a B. I think all the gradings were right. I think Bleacher Report knows that Becky Lynch is the worst, even though technically in their eyes she's the best. I mean, if we're going to talk about greatest women wrestlers of all time, there's the whole fucking list to discuss. I only mention that because of that. It's funny how Becky keeps mentioning Bleacher and Sports Illustrated in her promos. Yeah, I wonder why. But if there's anything for you guys to go check out, it is the champion speaking, because it's a good promo from Punk. You know how Punk is. He cuts a good promo. AJ Styles and Gunther is something to check out. And if you like Javon Evans, go check him out too. But what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. This was a alright Raw, and they'll be back next week. I think the start time is 3. I think it's 3. Might have to look that up. But Adam Pearce will fill you in on Sunday. Well, this has been the Raw Review, and I will be back to see you guys on Saturday for the SmackDown Summary. And, of course, you guys know the Royal Rumble, watch-along, predictions, and, of course, the review will be happening all within that last week of January. So, we will be setting up, and we will be having the Royal Rumble set for you guys entirely. You can find it all here. We'll be watching the Royal Rumble down in the living room. Me and Lewis should be there. If anybody else joins, somebody else or other people will join. Probably. Who knows? Anything can happen. I will see you guys on Saturday. Peace.